Good morning, everybody. Let's just finish setting up a little bit. Let's just check the feed on this side. Here we go. Let's have a little look. Push that up slightly, I think. That's it. Hi, Julie. Hope you're okay. Hello, Christine. Way. Try and get it so it's not so wonky. Hi, Elaine. Good morning, Samantha. Hi, Donna. Hello, Jane. Counting stock. Ooh. There we go. I think that looks fine. Let's pop that way. You can kind of see it. That's it. Hi, Leslie. Okay, let me get myself sat down. Pop my glasses on.
I'll be with you in a minute when the Facebook stops playing up.
Hello, Louise. Hi, Gail. Haven't all these lives been fantastic? I don't know if you just heard Mum. She's shocked because she saw the sun. Hi, Yvonne. There we go. Give it a few moments for everyone to get comfy. Grab a cuppa or whatever you're doing. If you're crafting or watching. That's it. So I've got in front of me the actual one we're going to make today. But I think once you do start making these, you're going to be hooked. Hi, Bev. Oh, fantastic, Donna. I'm so pleased.
Nice one, Donna.
Power to the cardboard. No cardboard will be used today. Okay. Oh, that's a shame, Sandy. Oh, I hope you feel better later. Not nice, is it? I don't think this weather helps. It's just all foggy and heavy and some furry black clouds out the front window at the moment. They have, haven't they, Donna? Yeah, I've really been enjoying it and seeing everyone's different styles and how they do things. And yeah, I will run through the rest of the schedule at the end and the list of stockists as well. And before I forget, today is the 1st, so we will be announcing the new crafter of the month when I have finished up here. So keep an eye out for that. Always the way, man.
Hide it.
Okay. So we're going to be using this bits of the gorgeous U collection from Julie, their Christmas Joy for this year. So I'm using practically everything, I think. Ah, brilliant, Samantha. Hi, Linda. So we've got 1073, the Christmas elements. We have 1074, the Christmas baubles. And we have 1075, the Tree of Life. This tree is gorgeous. I have used this for so many different things. But I think out of all of them, the little snowflake cluster is my absolute favourite. this is gorgeous, this stamp. I'm also using a larger tag from the Numbers and Tags die set. And we've also got some of the Winterberry glossy dots. If you don't want to add too much embellishment on anything you're going to be posting, these are ideal because they're flat backed. But we've got those to use as well. Okay, and then I've got a whole range of other bits and bobs. So I'll be using VersaFine Claire in the Tulip Red and the Acorn. So I'm keeping everything pretty neutral this morning and traditional, if you like. So this is the finished cube. And then once it's ready, flatten it down. And as long as you remember not to go over the edges too much, this will fit in a 6x6 envelope. Yeah, I expect they're somewhere, Christine. So, as I say, that will fit in a 6x6. And all the measurements, the one that Julie has now, that's the same, apart from I raised the tree up a bit too much. But if not, it will go in a 5x7, definitely. Oh, so that's the one we'll be making. So I'm also using some craft card, which is from Pink Frog, some white super smooth and true red, all from Pink Frog again, and got some red and white baker's twine. I've just got a new whole bunch for all the Christmas bits and bobs because I love this stuff. Hi Joe! So you can either use twine or the glossy dots, it's up to you. I'll be using alcohol markers to colour. I've got some gel pens and a white paint pen and all the usual things, scoreboards, trimmers, stamp platform, glue, etc, etc. I will put the list and the instructions up in the group when we're done. I'll just show you a couple of others I've made as well. So we've got this blue and pink one, because I was a bit obsessed with blues and pinks. So it just goes to show you can make them in any kind of combination you like. And I use the foilables on this one as well. So if I bring this up, hopefully you can see. See if that shines. There we go. And here as well. This one has got the shorter cubes on both sides. That's it. Thank you. There we go. And again, they just fold flat. Obviously it's got a few bits popping out, so if it doesn't fit in a 6x6, it will definitely fit in a 5x7. So that's the blue one. There's little bits, I don't know if you can catch that in there. On the inside as well. Got a bit of a thing for blue and pink at the moment. Okay, let's pop that to one side, and then I went for a really colourful one. Let's bring this one up. Using Hazel's all-weather paper pack as well, which just seemed to work really lovely, and some black mirror card for the actual base, so you can literally use whatever you've got on these. I've gone for some more funky colours on here. You could cover all the sides if you wanted to, of course, that's entirely up to you. There we go, got some inside there as well, see if we can pick that up. Bring that around a little bit. There we go. And again, folds completely flat. So you can go with whatever colour combination and card and materials you like. Let's put that to one side. Okay, so let's move on to our instructions. Now, you will need 3 strips of the craft card. I'll tell you what sizes these are. That's it. And I've also got the first one I made as a prototype as well, in case I forget and get stuck where I'm sticking things. That's it. Okay, so you are going to need 1 piece of craft card, and this measures 29 by 14. So that will be the tower at the back. We've got another one which is basically half the size of that, so that is 29 by 7. So you can either do 1 or 2 of these. Hi Jax! And for the smaller size, we've got one at 23 by 7. Again, you can either do 1 or 2. I guess you could go on and add a smaller one to this part as well if you wanted to. Really go to town with them. Okay, so we start by scoring. Get the scoreboard up. Oop, go. I didn't whack that too much. So we're going to lay it across this way. Butt it right up to the edges so we get nice straight lines. So we are going to go in at 7. Sure we're quite firm with this. That's it, as it's craft card, it's thicker. 14, 21 and 28. So we've got our 4 sections now and a tab which we can glue everything together with. That's the one. Don't crease these yet, and then we can pop our mats and layers onto it before we crease it. Just makes life a bit easier. Okay, so it's the same measurements for the 7 by 29. So we come in at 7, 14, 21 and 28. Put that to one side. And the smaller one, we're going to come in at 4. $11, 15, and 22. So again, we've got a 1 centimetre flap on the end. Don't worry, these are all written down on the instructions. I'll add to the group later as a PDF. Okay, so get the scoreboard out of the way. That's it. Put those to one side for a moment. Okay. So then we're going to need our mats and layers. So I've gone for the red. You will need, if you're going to do it like for like, the longest piece at the back is 9.5 by 6.5. So you do just the one of those. Then the actual square pieces, because we've got them inside and outside. So you're going to need 7 pieces, which are 6.5 by 6.5. And then you'll need 2 of the smaller ones, and these are 3.5 by 6.5. So I've just gone down in ½ centimetre increments all the way around. There we go. And then our pieces to stamp onto, which I've used the super smooth white. So again, we need 1 piece, which is 9 by 6. And then the square pieces, which are 6 by 6. Need 7 of those again. Some of these I've already stamped, otherwise we would have been here all day. And then 2 of the smaller pieces, which are 3 by 6. Again, but we can stamp these all in one go. That's no problem. So we'll do that first. And we'll get my favourite stamp out. Gorgeous snowflake. Let's bring the stamp platform in. Now you could, if you wanted to, go in and stamp all over a larger piece of card, but I wanted to keep the design the same on each piece, basically, because that's just how my weird mind works. So we'll start off with one roughly in the middle. So we can place that down. There we go. Hello, Caroline. And I'm going to use the Tulip Red VersaFine Clair for this. A nice ink up. This is a gorgeous red, this one. Just going to come in, stamp that one in place. And going to bring in the smaller piece. And that will catch a little bit of the bottom as well. As I say, you can stamp one bit of card if you prefer, and then cut into it. Go. So we'll bring the first one back in again. Give the stamp a little wipe. And then I'm just going to go all the way around and fit it in next to the design we've already printed. And I love pattern building, as you know. Once you've got all your bits cut anyway, you can, once your stamp is lined up, you can just go in and do them all anyway. With a bigger piece.
Do you want a piece of copy paper? Good paper.
Let's see, no, that's not going to catch that one at all, is it? I don't think so. We won't need to. Nope, don't need to bother with that one yet. Give this another wipe. Bring this one back in. This is grid paper. Joe, keep using me bits of card now. Right. Let's bring it up this way. Keep the stamp the same way. What we'll do is we'll move it over 1 centimetre, because we can remember that when we put our other bits in. Bring this down. I'll keep it quite tight. But I liked your idea of just putting a bit of paper in it, which I will do when I've used up these bits, definitely.
Well, you can answer that. What's the difference between Versaline and Distress?
It's the pigments and the dye.
Yeah.
So your Distress will react with water, but this won't. We're not going to need that there, are we? Okay, so give this another wipe. This is this ink is permanent. Once it's there, it's there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this now. Keep it up to the 1 centimetre again. Then we'll remember to turn our stamp the same way. And I think we'll bring this right in over here. So. They made the lids of these easier to pick up. I'm going to pop that one up in centimetre as well. A little bit of ink. That one. This is just how my how my brain works, Donna.
Donna, this is paper.
So all the bits are practically the same. It really doesn't matter, it's just me. You can just go over a larger sheet of card and do what you like, really. A bit like what we did with the masterboard. Fit that in there. So. Do the larger piece at the moment. And I'm going to move this up a bit. So I've moved that because it's only half the size. So I've moved that up to 3 on the grid. I'll do the larger piece separately. Come in on this side. Just slightly. That's it. Hello, Maxine.
I actually waved at Maxine then.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, and we'll come back around this way. And we'll just fill in the edges. So we've got a little bit there as well. Want it nice and festive.
Oh, you can buy a pad and good paper.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Okay.
There we are. Put this back in. Yep, just catch a little bit on the edge there. But I think just using up copy paper and bits and pieces like that, packing slips that you get in with those cardboard boxes, you could pop in there as well. Okay, I'm going to be really pernickety.
You really are, aren't you? That's my girl.
Let's bring this right over, we'll bring it up to 5. And just add
Yeah, Samantha, I did
little bit
stamping
left.
before the stamping platform, but it makes life easier, doesn't
it does.
Girl?
You can be much more confident with what you're doing. It takes that risk
Really does.
factor out of it, doesn't it? I used to do stamping, but I wouldn't say I was particularly
Not as good as you are now.
no, not that. I possibly not enjoy it quite so much.
Okay.
I mean, stamping now is what I tend to do for everything.
Yeah.
So we can just go in now and finish the larger piece.
Just small fish, right? Because even if you miss, you can go in again.
You can.
You couldn't do that before.
Move them out the way. You could, of course, do these in different colours if you wanted to. It doesn't have to all be one colour.
We're going for the red theme today, don't we?
Yeah, I just thought I'd go with something a bit more traditional, some a little bit of Scandi.
Yeah, definitely Scandinavian. Wonder why.
Having found out that I have Scandinavian heritage. I'm now obsessed with all things Scandinavian. Go, just go around, fill in the gaps. Of course, if you've got lots of these to do, then I mean, once you've got the stamp in place, you can just keep swapping your bits of paper and going into it.
So would you go and cover one piece of card instead of doing it individually?
You could do,
Yeah.
but you might then cut into it and find that you've got gaps.
Okay.
Whereas this way, I know that each piece is covered evenly.
Right.
Or that could just be me.
Not saying nothing.
Put this down. And then I think we are done. There we go. So that's the rest of our cards done. Pop this little stamp away, I don't want to lose it. There we go. That to one side. Okay. So we'll pop these with the rest of the bits that I've already got done. I can wait, and then we'll move on to the actual elements that we're going to add to our cube. I haven't really ever used the wooden blocks, possibly because by the time I was into crafting, it had all moved on to clear stamps or just that sticky back rubber. Okay, so on another bit of card I had left over from cutting some bits up. Pop this in. I will stamp them all out. I've left a couple of pieces left just to colour and cut out, but the rest I have already done. So let's get our stamps out of the bag. You can, of course, go with whatever you like to decorate these with. Okay, so got some of the lovely baubles. I'm literally just going to come in, try and stamp as many things in one go. The lovely tree. Place that upside down to get that in. Just make sure that you leave enough room to cut all the way around. And I think we'll have the little tag. That is cute. Let's see what else we can fit on. We want the larger tag. Yes, definitely. Quite agree with you, Monica. Oh, don't worry. And we'll have, I've got 6 of these little trees all together on the project. So let's pop that in. And I quite like doing the tone on tone with craft card. Okay, so I've got the Versafine Claire in Acorn, which is a lighter brown. Seems to look nice, nice and warm and inviting on the craft card. So we'll get these covered with the ink. Get a nice covering all over here. Quite a few on here, so we just need to make sure that we've put pressure down on everything, especially in the middles. They're such lovely fine designs. Give that a minute to soak in as well. You should be good to go. It's actually quite frightening now if you have to do a bit of stamping without the stamp platform. There we go. That's it. They're all perfect. Oh, apart from one little leaf. That's it. Gotcha. There we go. Let's give these a wipe and we'll see what else we need. Give my stamps a bath today, so I'm not spritzing too much. So finished with the tree, and we're finished with the tag, and they're the one. So just check and see what other baubles we need. We definitely need some more of the trees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 with the stars and 2 without. Okay, so we'll have another little one and one of that one. Probably won't get done in a minute. I'll turn that round in a moment. Going to need to do some more trees anyway. Nice covering of ink on. to settle into the card. Let's turn our card around, get the most out of it that we can. A little tree in. Get the smaller bauble. Of course, like I said, it is entirely up to you what you want to stamp out and decorate with. It's basically just showing you how I went for it and did it, and then you can use the same technique to carry on with what you would like to do. A little tree here. It does, doesn't it? Craft and white heat embossing is just beautiful. Okay, a couple of more trees in. These little trees are great for these pop-up cube cards. There we go, one more. I thought I would just stamp everything out so you can see it's stamped. There we go. So that will be all our embellishments. And as always, I would say to leave these to completely dry. Of course, it depends on what medium you're using, but I'll be using the majority of alcohol markers. So you will need to let this completely dry, naturally if possible. But that's the beauty of bulk stamping. You can just do a whole load out, give it overnight, and then go in the next day and colour. They've all stamped absolutely beautifully. Okay, so that's all of those. To one side, I've also got one of the little tags that I've cut out or die cut using the larger tag die, and we're going to pop a sentiment onto here. And I really love the Christmas wishes stamp. I absolutely love the font in this one. It's really retro, which, as you all know, I love. So we want to pop that down in the middle-ish. The baubles are, aren't they? Yes. And I know I said that the snowflake was my favourite, but it is difficult. They are all pretty much my favourite this year. I think it's because the snowflake is just amazing for backgrounds. Okay, so we're going to stamp the sentiment out in with the brown as well. There we go. I absolutely love this font. It's amazing. Look how gorgeous that is when it's stamped. There we go. Love that.
Beautiful.
So that's ready. Okay, I think that's us all stamped. Let's move those to one side. And now we're going to do a bit of colouring. On the floor. Let's bring these in. So I thought what we would do is colour the tree and one of the baubles, because the tree kind of contains everything that I used with the colouring pattern that I did. So I've got this written down so I didn't forget what colours I've got. I've gone for all natural colours, browns and like skin tones and things as well, just to coordinate with it. And then we're going to add some highlights in with red and white, so we're all nicely colour coordinated. They're great, aren't they, Samantha? They really are. So we've got one called Grey. If anyone has the what is the Deco Time, isn't it, the Deco Time twin markers, if you want to use the same colours. This one is Grain. These are a great more cost-effective form of alcohol marker, I would say, because some are absolutely horrendous prices. So now we're not going to need the trunk on the larger tree. I've taken that off of this one, just so it lowers it down on the actual cube so that it's not poking out too much. And this one you'll be able to get in the 6x6 envelope, which reduces the postage costs at Christmas. And we've also got, so I use this one on the hangers, the bauble hangers. I hope that my head doesn't get in the way too much. Just going to do really straightforward colouring in today. But I know that people have been asking about colouring, and the poll on the group that I added, colouring seems to crop up as well. There we go. I think I used that on the 2 stars also. And then next we've got the flesh colour. You will notice that when you first colour down onto craft it looks quite dark, but it does really lift as it dries. And I gave all of these little names so I remember which was which. So I called these ones the plain leaves. So we're going to come in. Let's just bring you in a little bit. So you can see what's happening. Let's wait for that to catch up. It's easier when we're colouring if you can see that a bit better. Okay. So I'm not going to do any shading or highlights today, just literally going to colour them in, but it's all going to be different colours. But we can of course do some more in-depth colouring at another point. Thank you, Christine. Go around, find our little leaves. Julie is amazing at drawing leaves. They're always so detailed and different.
Julie's amazing at drawing, full stop.
Well, yes, she is.
She just don't know it.
What I would say with colouring though, when you get to like a tight corner or angle where you're running out of a bit of room and you think the pen is going to go over, just lift it, be really light with it, and that way you can get in. Okay, so we're still looking for what I have named the plain leaves. Okay, just make sure I'm in shot all the time. Start at the corner, come in lightly, and then you can put the pressure back on again.
See how light they've got.
You can see, yeah, from what I've just done to the first one I did, the difference in the colours. And then on the bauble, turn that round. Always move your stamped images around to make it easier for your colouring. will come in. These little leaves here going in, hardly any pressure at all on the pen. Where it comes up to where there's not a line around the bauble. Just be quite sketchy with it. All these little leaves in. I always colour the leaves first as well. Isn't that strange? I wonder why we do that.
What's that?
Colour the leaves first.
Instead of the flower. It's getting out. It's getting with the little colouring.
Could be.
Isn't it?
So as it comes up to the edge of the bauble, just be a little bit more sketchy with it. Okay, making sure I'm still in shot.
See, even me Julie has less confidence sometimes.
I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah.
Some techniques and methods we're more comfortable with, and we're always learning.
Of course we are.
Okay, I think I've got all those. Yep. So that was the flesh colour. Next we'll go on to light old rose. Sometimes wonder where they get all their names from. Okay, so this one, I called this leaf the smiley face leaf. Because to me, that looks like a smiley face. This is just how I remember.
Okay.
So it's the one with the two little dots. Got one here. But I absolutely adore colouring with the alcohol markers. Oh, and it's, I mean, the slightest little thing can put you off of doing something. It's not even something you've been doing for years. So we're going lighter. Places with less space. I think I'll slide one more here. Of course, now all I can see is that this leaf has got a smiley face. It's a happy leaf. Okay, just check. I think we've got all of those. Yep. There we go. Let's pop that one back. Oh, I'm sorry, Muriel. Let me know if it carries on. So we've got mellow gold. Oh, I wonder why that is. So I'm going in all over the stripy leaves to get colour all across them. So it's because I moved the camera. And then we can come in with an even darker colour and do the stripes separately if you want to. Of course, you don't have to. That's it. Is that okay, Muriel? That's me.
Is it because I shut up, Mother? Or...
I know how sensitive these microphones are on phones, and I don't like to go into with too much oomph because they pick up the slightest little thing. Like when you're cleaning your stamps with the cloth, it sounds like you're sandpapering something. Fill that in all over, and you'll see that that lightens up quite a lot as well. I think that's all of those, and then we'll do the same on the bauble. So we've kept everything the same colours, whether it's on the trees or the baubles or anything else, because they all coordinate beautifully. So, thank you, Maxine. The post.
This nice post.
So that's those leaves done, and that's all over. And we're going to go in with some raw silk. And what have I called this leaf? Swirl leaves. There we go, because they've got the little swirls on them. It's a lovely light colour. This one is as well, that's hiding behind the other leaf. Got another little one here. And one in here. One around here. It's amazing that we all still colour exactly like we were taught at school, isn't it? Going around the edge and then filling in. So did I use that on anything else? Yes, we're going to pop this into the middle of the poinsettia, because this to me was more a yellowy colour. So we'll fill that bit in. Okay, we're going to go with the yellow ochre. Another nice warm colour. And these leaves I've called puff leaves because they've got like a little puff in the middle there. You can use whatever you like to colour in. Just remember that if you're using oxides, it does mask it a little bit if you use water with them, because of course the water will make the craft card quite dark. As you can see, the alcohol ink makes it dark anyway. The clean colour pens would be lovely for this as well. I think, Julie, the tree is all down to you, really. I don't think it would matter how you coloured it. You don't actually. I think this tree, it's standalone really. You could just go in and stamp it and cut it out and it would look amazing. So that's it. That's those ones. We are getting there. burnt orange. And we're going to do the stripes in these. So hopefully you can see. Just pick one, just do alternates. And then come in and do it on the opposite one on the other side. You can have them joining up if you want to. Just creates a bit of interest on here. You could do, Julie was talking about rainbows the other day. You could do your stripes in rainbow colours. That would be lovely. Move that around again, make life easier. Let's move that up a bit so you can still see. There we go.
Can you?
Okay, do this one that's down here in the middle. We do love rainbows.
Yeah, you do.
Just have our very own rainbow club. There we go. And one more. If you didn't want to do all the stripes, you could do the underneath of the leaf a different colour. Or just leave them as they are. We'll move on to the ones that are on the bauble as well. This is slightly thicker. Might need a couple of strokes to do these. There. And this one. Okay. There we go. Now I've got a red gel pen, just because it's quite small, but a fine liner would be just as nice. Got a small white paint pen. It's 0.7, that one. And just because I purely loved the colour of this red, I could have used alcohol markers, but I've gone with an aqua marker instead. We're going to pick out some details with this. So I'm going to do the little hearts. When you use aqua markers, they react completely differently on the craft card. It gave such a pretty vibrant colour on here. We're going to do the poinsettia. So again, all the way around the edge. And we can go in with the brush tip. So come to the edge of the bauble. Just wiggle that in gently. Let's turn this around, make life easier for ourselves. So wiggle that all the way around the centre. change. Make life easier for ourselves. Get more coverage. You can see immediately with a water marker how it sinks in to the card straight away more. I thought I'd still use this so you can see the differences. That's it. That's it, yep, done with that one. So we come in and I'm going to colour all the little dots because I think it just finishes it nicely. You might want to leave them as they are. It is those little details that make a difference.
Draws your eye in, doesn't it?
It does. Those little splashes of colour really do make all the difference. Little sparkle pen would be quite nice for these as well. And the same on the tree. Just come in, colour all the little dots. This will carry through our design for the cube nicely. You don't run out on me, pen. Postal white pen, yes. I've had that pen for ages. I'm surprised how long it's lasted
on
me.
alive as well. Swine.
It's fine. Just needed reinvigorated. Don't we all? I just think the gel pens are easier on smaller spaces.
Yeah.
But yeah, a fine liner is also good. These gel pens are just, I think they were a kid's brand from the supermarket. So I think I've got them all. You can guarantee you'll finish it and then notice you haven't done one. But there,
No,
that's it. No, that's a good idea, Julie.
Oh.
I bought a set of these ones when you did the workshop for the bookbinding, the notebooks and things.
Oh my god.
Which was ages ago. So we'll just get our pen going, get a nice shape, and to make sure it is working okay. Yep, that's fine. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to go into the little dot above the swirls on all of that leaf. Again, this is just adding a bit more detail and interest. And where those little puffs are on this leaf, I'm just going to go around the centres with some little tiny dots, picking those out, being careful not to smudge what I've already done. And there. Okay, I think that's not, oh no, this one. Just some little dots there. I'll bring that up for you to see in a moment. That's it, and that's fine on there. And then the tag that we did, I'm just going to colour the star in red to highlight that as well. one side. Let's bring this up to the camera. Have a look.
Beautiful, my girl, just like you.
And the warble. So it's nice and therapeutic. Once you've got everything stamped out, you can have a lovely afternoon colouring. Okay.
Don't know about you, but I'm just chilled watching you.
So we'll get these cut out. Let's chop some of this away. Let's bring the camera back up. Hopefully that works. No, gone the other way. Come on. That's it. It's annoying because you have to wait for the feed to catch up before you know if you've done it right. So I'm just going to go in, leave a little border all the way around. Cut some off when I can so we don't put too much stress on the rest of the card. Keep cutting away. Fussy cutting isn't my favourite thing to do.
No, you got a professional cutter for that, haven't you, my girl?
What I will show you when we get to it. Let's cut that away. If I was going to be cutting out the trunk of the tree as well, I would do this first. Go straight up both sides. Because when you come back round, again it puts less stress on the card when you're getting into those awkward little places. We're going to be cutting the trunk off. Sorry, tree. Oh, it'd be lovely if you could do that all the time, wouldn't it? I just do it, Yvonne. It's not exactly even. But I have to admit, just recently I have cut a load of these trees out, so I think I've got muscle memory for it now. Because the next Technique Tuesday includes some cards with the tree on, so I've had good practice. And again, when you're done, turn it over. You can either use your nails or bone folder and just flatten those edges back down where the blades have been. If you use a knife, it will be on the front. Okay, so we're just going to take this little trunk off. That's it, and then we'll do the bauble. Exactly, yeah. Round, little border this time, a bit more of an easier shape. Set. do quite like these scissors, same as ones as Julie's been using.
Like the small scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was so old, they weren't really much good for anything anymore.
You prefer the small scissors to the bigger scissors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the smaller ones with the pointy tips, so they get right in.
Yeah.
Okay. Pop those bits over there. You can go in the recycling. So that's our cutting out. Now we can get on to the assembly, which is what you've all been waiting for. So we're going to bring our pieces back in again. Start with the biggest piece. So it will be this one and this one. So we'll come in with the red first. Let's grab the glue. No, it does make I've got arthritis creeping into all sorts of places. Come out glue, and it is difficult. Cutting can be quite a painful experience. So I'm going to add that one there. You'll know which is the front and the back of your piece because you've got the valley folds on the front and the mountain ones are on the inside. One of those there.
It's the joys of getting old.
Joys of getting off, yeah. Oh. And one on this side.
Yeah, you heard that from Julie. That's what you should have, my girl.
What's that?
Acupuncture.
Yes. My nan had it way back in the early mid-80s when our GP at the time was quite progressive because she had it in her back and it was really early on. And it was amazing.
Acupuncture works. From someone who's had acupuncture, it does work.
Right, now we'll glue our decorated pieces on top of the red. I wonder if you can get it on the NHS.
Acupuncture.
To try and find her.
We'll try and find
out.
Yeah, because your arthritis is getting worse.
It is progressively getting. I'm just falling apart, basically.
Not like your mum.
This one on. Once we've got it covered, we can pop it together.
Oh, it's one for hubby does it for me.
Oh, yeah, please.
Does it for me in my back and hips. That'd be good too if you could. That'd be really beneficial for you, my girl.
It would be, yeah. Okay, so we can pop this one together now. Crease these down as we go. Now it's entirely up to you whether you want to add the decorated bits before you open these out. That is entirely up to you. And what we're going to do is glue the tab onto the front so that when it's opened you can't see a tab inside the actual card. You could use some red liner tape for this if you wanted to, but I prefer using the wet glue.
Stronger, isn't it?
Yeah, it grabs pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried. The red is gorgeous, isn't it? It's the true red from Pink Frog. It really is gorgeous colour. I've nearly used it all now. Bit of squish. Burnish that down nicely. Ah, okay. I'll try and find out about that.
This one's interesting. Some on foot.
I think Brian might quite like putting needles in me.
Can I learn tattooing at the same time?
So that's that one. We'll put that to one side. We're going to the bigger one now. Ah, interesting. So I'll get it in my elbows, my shoulder, my knees, my hips. It's shocking, isn't it? Okay. So what I'm going to do is just gently bring this around. It just helps me remember where I'm going to be putting things. So on the bottom, and then I'm going to just take a pencil. So I'm going to have this as the top, and that will be the front. There we go. So we don't want to crease it completely, and then we want something in there and something in there. Just helps me remember where I'm going to put the pieces of card, and it's that way up, so when I stick my patterns on, they're all going in the same direction. Doesn't really matter, of course. One on there, another one here. And we'll bring in our pattern pieces. Wind up as neatly as possible. So is everyone going to have a crafty day today, or have you all got plans? Put them on the inside now. You could do the whole lot if you wanted to. It just depends how much you want to put into the actual card itself. Yeah, that's a good idea, Julie. Foilables later, Joe. Brilliant. Don't you love the foilables? So that's going up, that's going up. These stuck. Counting stock is never the most fun things to do, is it? Yes, those wallets are great, aren't they? Card is such an amazing medium. You can do so much with it. It's fantastic. it. So I'm going to pop these together first, just so as they've got time to dry off before I glue them all together. But you can, of course, add your little bits and pieces to them before you put them up, if it's a bit fiddly. So again, we're going to glue onto the outside, so you won't see it on the inside. So make sure it's all nicely lined up and sitting flush. Ooh, 65th wedding anniversary, wow.
Still having problems with the phone. I'm going to practice getting my phone the right way now for Facebook Lives.
Before we started doing lives, Joe, we made a private group just for Brian and I so that we could practice which way round the camera goes. Okay, so we've got this bit again. I'm just going to bend it around a little bit so I know what is going where. So that will be underneath. That bit, that bit, that bit, that bit. It just helps my silly brain remember what I'm doing. Because obviously it's difficult to practice something just onto Facebook, otherwise you start being live and that in front of the world. So yeah, we just had a private group just to test how things are going. And Julie very kindly sent me some instructions as well of how she had everything set up. That over. So we're getting there. It does get easier when you do these and quicker.
Yeah, but it was great the other night when John was doing it, crafting upside down. I've never seen that before.
It was a brilliant live. I loved it. And I love your kitchen as well, Joe.
There you go.
Cool. Okay. That way. Get these stuck on.
She said it's a small kitchen. I think that's why you like it, don't you, Mum?
Yeah. Looks just right. Nice and welcoming. Yeah, once you get into the hang of doing these and you're not doing it as a tutorial, you will be quicker. Because I did make up, end up making quite a few.
You did, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, but then when you get to know something, you do, don't you?
Yeah, second nature, isn't it?
You can't stop, can you?
These are
cards
great.
at the moment.
Especially being able to put these into the post in the 6x6. Okay. These burnished. Hold that a few seconds, let it grab. You have to work through them, Penny.
Penny's gonna be a busy lady.
Okay, there we go. So I liked to have it with the smaller one on this side and the larger one on that side, so that that doesn't obscure that one, if that makes sense. So we'll stick the larger one on first. So again, you could use red liner tape. Just some glue as well, and we are literally gonna come in, smooth that up.
You have to do it every week, Julie.
Make sure it's flush with the bottom. And with the side that folds, so that nothing gets in the way when you fold it up flat. And we'll burnish this down inside.
Brenda's just asked, what have you in the bottom of your glue jar to stop glue drying? You only do that when you're crafting, don't you?
Well, Brenda, that isn't anything I've particularly put in there. That's just a build-up of glue that has gradually seeped out of the glue bottles. I think it's probably about 1.5 years since I got rid of it last. But we're in the process of tidying again, so it will be gone. But no, because I just keep it upside down when I'm crafting all the time, so the glue is there ready to flow. But it's nothing special or there for a purpose, really. It's just how it's happened, really. And we'll bring this one in this side. Bring that up to the edge. Get it flush with the bottom there. To move that around so I can see what I'm doing. So it needs to be flush at the bottom so that when you stand it up, it all sits perfectly. Burnish that down again.
Who's on next? Small.
Hazel.
Ah, okay. What time's that?
7:30. I will go through it when we're done. There we go. So I would ideally say leave this to completely dry before you do anything else with it. But that is it. Ready to stand. I mean, it's quite pretty as it is, but we're going to put our little bits and bobs on.
Lovely.
Okay. Oh, but that is quite a good idea, isn't it? Some wet cotton wool in the bottom. Right, so I've got all the pieces here ready to go. Lots of bits and bobs. Set out so I know what I've got and where I'm going to put them. Lots of baubles. And the tags, and we've got those tags as well. I've already gone ahead and punched some holes in those, just with a small hole punch. So if we go in with the tree first, I'm going to pop this into here, just down into the centre. So just be mindful of where you put the glue, because there will be little pieces that hang over the edge. Bring that right down. Bring that over so you can see. Bring that down nicely. As I say, you can do this before you construct, so you can put things on when it's still flat. I thought if I had too much on it, it would obscure the actual obstruction of the construction of the box, really. Okay, and then on the front here, we're going to have a couple of the baubles. I put twine on with that one, but I think we'll go with glossies with this. I'm just going to have one hanging over the other, so we'll pop a bit of glue here and together. Join them at their loops. Then we can stick these on top. You could use foam pads or cardboard if you wanted to, but just remember that this has got to fold flat, so it will distort that as well. If that's not going to be an issue, then that's fine. You could make a box for these to go in if they're going to be a hand delivered special card. So, and then on the inside we've got this tag. I'm going to pop some twine through. Just going to loop that round. Send the loop through the hole, open it up, pull that through, tighten. If you want to, what I do sometimes, let's move this up, just pop a little bit of glue on there, tighten that up, hold that in place, just keeps the twine from unravelling. You can do it on the back, it won't show, so I'll snip these. I always use a bit more twine than I'm actually going to use, just so I've got room for me for my fingers to move and to pull things through. Bit of glue on the back, have that going that way. It's difficult to see. I will hold it up and show you. Bring that in if you like to pop those down. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so that's sitting in there snugly on the bottom. Then I've got 3 trees I'm going to pop onto the front here, so you won't need any glue at the very top. I'm going to pop one on this side, and I've got it up to the edge of the white decorated card. So it sits along the base there and right up to the side there. And we'll do the same on the other side. You could of course keep the stars on all 3 of the trees if you like. I just wanted to make a feature of the middle one. So, get that stuck down. And we've got one with a star on. And that's going to go right in the middle. Let's get that pinch onto the card. There we go. That's that. just thought it looked quite nice with the middle one having the star. Kind of draws your eye up. Okay, and come to this side. And I've got a bauble, this one, which we're going to have at the top. Thank you, Joe. Don't worry. I hope you're all right. Going at an angle. You could, of course, put a few more on if you like. As I said, I'm going to add some of the glossies onto there as well. You could put twine through if you liked. And then we're going to have, I've cut another one, another tag from some red card as well. And I'm just going to double these so it makes a nice feature. So just a little bit of glue on one part of that. Line the middles up so you can see. Just overlap them slightly, but so that you've still got the hole lined up. You can pop some more twine through here. If you were to put the twine through the baubles, what I did, because some of them are quite fine, I've got an old rubber, pokey tool, pop your hole through like so. That's especially good if you've got some of the smaller hangers where you haven't got the room to use a punch. And to pop the twine through, what I do so it doesn't start fraying, I put a little bit of glue on my finger and just dab the ends, roll them to a point, waft them about a bit so they dry, and that stabilizes them. So let's pop our twine through here. Let's do exactly the same as we did before. And we can add a bit of glue at the top, just a smidge. Put that down, give it a good squish. Trim those off. It does, yeah, with the twine, because sometimes trying to push these through a little hole, it just ends in disaster, doesn't it? So yeah, a little bit of glue on the end, and it will keep it all in place. Just let it go dry. Sort of squish it until you get a point, like a needle almost. Pop this down on the top. Butt the two end corners of the tags up to the edges of the decorated card. So, and we'll have the larger bauble on the front. That going the opposite way to the one on the top, I think. So we'll pop it on that way. Again, it's just something interesting for the eye. You've got things going in different angles. Going to do the same with our trees on the back inside. Put one in this side. Should put my tweezers over for this, it would have been easier. So again, button it up to the edge. If you think this is going to be too tricky, definitely stick them on before you put it together. Open this out in a minute. Let you have a look.
the tip about the glue. Dab a glue on your rib, dab a glue on your cord, isn't it?
When you're using twine, especially anything with natural fibres, and you need to thread it through quite a small hole, if you dab the end of it with a little spot of glue and pinch it so the twine itself goes smaller. So, leave it to go dry, and it stabilizes it so that you can thread it through more easily.
And when you do it on the back, it just keeps the twine unraveling.
It does, yeah. I pop like on here, I just put a little bit of glue in there so that this doesn't come loose at any point for whoever you're giving it to. Okay. So inside we've got some more bubbles to go. Just pop a little bit of glue on the edge of that one. We'll pop it over the top of this one, lining up the hangers again. Glue over both the backs. Put this down inside. Like so. And I think we'll put this lovely little tag that I've coloured in as well. This one, just pop it over there. If you want to, you can add one of the words into this tag as well, like Joe's lovely colourful card she did just out of this one small stamp with the words in the middles. Okay, so we'll add our glossies and we'll be there. Just try and show you the inside of this one. Let's see if that works. Tilt that a bit more.
Yeah.
So, okay. So obviously when it's standing up, it's kind of like this. Right. Done with my glossies. So this is winter berries, and I'm just going to pop a few of the medium size where the little hangers are. Just adds a nice little feature. One on the little tag here. Put one on the inside here. A good press down. And lastly, we'll have one on this side. There we go. Try and hold it up as it would be standing up for you. That's it. So that's our version we've made today. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. As I say, when you come to close it, squishes back down flat. That can pop in an envelope. Obviously, this isn't my idea. They've been around for a little while, I think. Let's bring these in. these will look great sitting on people's mantelpieces. And there we go. That's that one. That one, all in together. So I just go through a few bits. Look at all the different variations. Okay, so like we were saying, Hazel is live tomorrow evening at 7:30. Joe Channon will be live 7:30 on Thursday. I'm not sure if Julie, you're doing anything else. I know you weren't sure, but we've had loads of inspiration, haven't we? And then if you haven't grabbed your goodies yet, you can find them at Dragon's Papercraft, Wow Embossing Powder, The Mulberry Bush, Let's Create, Maximum Crafts, Craft Bliss, Hixie Soft, and The Art of Craft. If you're watching in Australia, they're at J-Craft. And for everyone in America, they are at Simon Says Stamp. So you're pretty covered for where you can get them from. And I think there is just so much you can do with this set of stamps and foilables this year. They're brilliant. Yep, Julie's going to be doing something 8 o'clock Friday evening. So that will be really good to look forward to. So thank you very much. It says, yeah, once I come off, I will be posting our new card maker or crafter of the month, and I'll be adding up a PDF file for the instructions and materials list and everything. What was Bev's name? But it would be great if you would try, Bev. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Really does. Yeah, I can put some more pictures of these on as well, which I've got, so you've got some reference as well. But please give these a go. They are so much fun to create with, and to get going with. And once you get into the swing of it, I mean, it's a really easy make. It's just that obviously we've been doing this as a tutorial, so there's quite a few different stages to go through. But they're brilliant fun. And they look fantastic. So thank you all so much. I will see you all for tomorrow's live as well with Hazel. Joe on Thursday, Julie on Friday. Have a great week, everyone, and take care. Bye.
Bye.